To a lot of people, this is their favorite incarnation of the Dead Man. For today I have from Mattel's WWE Elite Collection Legends line, which is a Target store exclusive. It is Series 9. It is The Undertaker from when he wore purple gloves, purple tie, purple boot coverings, and a white mask to protect his face. I had a hard time obtaining this figure, but I found him at Target, and the best part is, this week only, in Target's app, there's a special 25% off one toy. I used that discount on this figure. So worth it. But now, let's take a closer look at the figure in the packaging. This is from Series 9, Elite Collection logo, True Effects logo, and there's the Dead Man in the packaging, looking all kinds of menacing. Legends logo again, Mattel logo, Undertaker. Side illustration, very nice. Same thing here. And on the back, his accolades and his memorable moment. For over 30 years, Undertaker struck fear into the souls of his opponents. Perhaps none more so than Yokozuna, a monster of a man himself. Yoko tried to bury the Dead Man with his brutal bonsai drop, but to no avail. Undertaker battled the WWE champion at Royal Rumble 1994 in a match Yokozuna feared more than anything, a casket match. Though the champion was victorious, Undertaker rose from the grave and returned at SummerSlam. And here are the others you get in the line. Undertaker, $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, Tatanka, and Nikolai Volkov. But now, without any further delay, let's get the Dead Man to rise up out of the packaging by taking the packaging with the figure inside, placing it down here, turning the lights off, and having lightning strike the figure out of the packaging. Strike the packaging. And like a certain religious figure, boom, he has risen. Out of the packaging, all accessorized, minus one or two accessories. But before I take a closer look at the figure, let's take off all the accessories and take a closer look at those. The first accessory is his entrance coat. Now, I'm glad that this is fabric and not rubber, but I've noticed something very strange about this coat. It doesn't feel like soft fabric. It feels like paper. Obviously, it's not paper. It feels very rough. Just listen to that. Look at it closely. I'm not sure if they did this because at this point, Undertaker looks very different, I guess is the word. Or Mattel just got very, very cheap. If I compare this coat to the Decade of Domination entrance jacket coat thing, you can tell this is a very soft vinyl-like fabric, and this is just very rough. Every time I take this coat on and off, I'm afraid I'm going to rip it like paper. So just be careful when you're accessorizing and de-accessorizing your Undertaker figure. Next is his mask. Now, he only wore this for a short time when he got injured, but it definitely added to his character at that time. The mask is white, it's got some detail, and it's molded to fit only his face, as a figure and in real life. If he wore this now, people would criticize him because he's not covering his mouth. Next accessory is his entrance tie, which is fabric more fabric-y than the entrance coat, if that's even a word. It's purple with black stripes. And if we compare it to the Decade of Domination tie, same tie, different colors. Next is his entrance hat. It's the same as the others, just with a purple stripe. And if I compare this hat to a couple other Taker hats, this one came with the WrestleMania 31 Undertaker. It had just a black stripe. This one came with the Decade of Domination Undertaker, and it had a gray stripe. Although when I displayed the figures with these hats, I switched them to be more accurate. And lastly, he comes with 2 pairs of interchangeable hands. 1 pair of purple gloved mic holding hands, and a pair of purple gloved gesturing hands. But before I re-accessorize him and do some more comparisons, let's take a closer look at this purple gloved Undertaker figure. Here is his face, and he has his hair covering part of his face. Lift the little strands. You can see that's a very accurate likeness to Taker. The only thing I'm a little disappointed by is the fact that during this time, Taker had a much more paler complexion, and he had the dark circles around his eyes. If you look closely at this box, you can see that, but it doesn't reflect the figure here. But I'm probably going to have him displayed wearing the mask, so it kind of doesn't matter. And if we do a face scan comparison, here's purple glove Undertaker next to gray gloved Undertaker. Now, this comparison's kind of not fair because this is before True FX, but this was the version of Undertaker that came before this version. Next comparison, purple gloved Undertaker and debut Undertaker that came from the Decade of Domination line. And if we take a closer look at his arms, look at the difference from when he debuted to just a few years later, and his arms are fully tatted up. What a difference just a few short years makes. And the hair too, look, he went from a short brown mullet to long black in-your-face hair. Like those Undertaker figures, he's wearing a blue button-down shirt, his tattoos, 1 elbow pad on his left arm. He's got the cuffs for the purple gloves. He's wearing nothing but black throughout the rest of his attire. And he's got those gray boot coverings with the silver dots. And he's wearing big black wrestling boots. Decade Domination Taker, purple gloved Undertaker. And here is purple gloved Undertaker, all accessorized, and I even added a Winged Eagle World Championship. Let's take a quick look at what I did. So hard to get him to hold the belt and keep it over his shoulder. That's where the hair comes in. Now, let me just remove his hat real quick. The mask is very easy to put on. It just slips underneath the hair and it holds. And like on television, the hairs still go over the mask. Unfortunately, they stick out like that. I wish there was a way they could have stayed a little bit more flat against his face with the mask on. But the hat kind of helps. You put it on. It does make them a little bit more flushed against his face. So there's that. And I gave him 1 gesturing hand. Now let's do some fully accessorized comparisons. And here is my purple gloved Legends Undertaker next to the Walmart exclusive Decade of Domination debut Undertaker and my customized WrestleMania 31 Elite gray gloved Undertaker. He did not come with that belt. And out of these 3 early incarnations of The Undertaker, which one is your favorite? For me, it's gray gloved Undertaker. Also, which one of these 3 figures is your favorite? For me, in terms of that, it wouldn't be him. It would actually be him. Debut Undertaker. And why? Mostly because that is a spot-on, perfect face scan of The Undertaker. And unlike this guy, This guy has the dark circles under his eyes. But what would an Undertaker figure from this era be without Paul Bearer with urn? Now that is awesome. But that is it for my review and comparison of the Target exclusive Legends Elite Series 9 purple gloved Undertaker figure. Tell me, what do you guys think? And do you think we're ever going to get another Paul Bearer figure? We've gotten, 100,000 Taker figures, 50 Kane figures, but only 2 Paul Bearer figures. The Build-A-Figure one and this one that was part of the Target exclusive Hall of Champions line. Let me know down in the comments below. But until the next review I do, which will be his kayfabe brother, Kane, Decade of Domination. But until then, rest in peace.